Hello, my name is Kyla Jean. Today I'll be presenting to you the analysis of the song Virtual Insanity by Jamiroquai, also known as JK. Although there is a plethora of different kinds of symbolism used within the Virtual Insanity music video, here I've listed a few. At the very beginning of the music video, we find ourselves teleported into a completely dystopian virtual universe that JK has created with bright, vibrant lighting where it's almost disorienting. We see symbols such as the crows flying above head, cockroaches, and blood spilling from the couches. In the music video, he uses purposeful phrases that warn us of a completely virtual society that turns to mania. In a lot of the phrasing used within the song, Jamiroquai is alluding to the fact that we're actively straying from society by creating a virtual one. For example, useless twisting of our new technology insinuates that not every technological advancement thus far has been helpful or beneficial for its users. The line, "Now every mother can choose the color of her child, that's not nature's way," is pointing out the fact that it's gone as far as being able to genetically alter your own offspring's attributes. Other phrases such as, "It's so insane to synthesize another strain and things are changing for the worst," suggest that along with us being so virtually inclined already, we're always somehow coming up with new ways to virtually improve or change our society, even though at some point we will have passed the perfect medium. As far as the audience aspect of this song goes, I personally believe the original release of the song was to spread the message to the masses and reach out to those who were already concerned with technology becoming our entire lives, but now I believe it's expanded its audience to the younger generations. For example, it being on Family Guy ironically drew in more viewers, but I also think that the newer viewers are overlooking the message that the song is implying, and it's flying right over younger generations' heads. I mean, to put it into perspective this way, this song was released nearly 30 years ago, almost as a warning of what could happen at the time if we let technology go too far, and its message is still being overlooked modernly, and we're living in the middle of it. With all the symbolism in mind, I'd like to dig a little bit deeper into the meaning of each thing that I've described on the slide beforehand. So to start with the cockroaches, they can symbolize, to me, they symbolize resistance in the music video. To put it into this perspective, cockroaches are extremely resilient, and if we don't wake up and start caring about the planet instead of caring about the acceleration of technology, these might be the only resilient living beings left on the planet. We also see crows in the music video multiple times. Crows can have many meanings symbolically, but a popular take on the symbolic meaning of a crow is death and change, and I think that really resonates well with the music video because it serves as a purposeful reminder that life is short, it's not infinite. There are things that are so much bigger than the mechanisms we're spending so much of our time on daily. To move forward to the point of lighting, it's really, really important to emphasize that the type of lighting does, in fact, make a difference. White lighting is used to amplify emotions. It helps you get a sense of the type of environment that you're digesting visually. If warm lights were to be used instead, you would have this sense of comfortability. You would feel warm. And that's not the type of message that the video is going for. Furthermore, the symbolism of the blood spilling out from underneath the couches, the way that I see this is that he's slowly slipping further and further into the mania induced by the technology. And I mean, to push the narrative even further, the whole point of the video is not to be comfortable. It's to push you a little bit outside of your comfort zone to, instead of seeing familiar things, see generally unsettling things to make you think more about the message than the video itself. So, Jamiroquai has captured your attention with the social issue of overconsumption of technology. What do we know so far? Children's screen time consumption during the pandemic rose, and it stayed at that high. So not only to mention that it was already high before the pandemic began, Then you add on the fact that everyone is socially isolated from one another, and the only way of communicating with one another was through social media. The National Library of Medicine study shows that children had close to 2 hours of increased screen time every single day during that first pandemic period. After the second pandemic period, it went down by barely 0.6%. Considering the fact that the pandemic was 4 years ago and the number still hasn't budged, it's possible that because of the behaviors we adopted during the pandemic, it's going to be hard to reverse the amount of consumption we have modernly. And I mean, it's inevitable. I'm no angel. We all go on our devices from a day-to-day basis, but overconsumption can also have negative impacts on our mental health as well. I mean, we see it now all the time. Nobody ever goes outside to play anymore. I mean, playing in general inside is still such an abstract idea nowadays. We see toddlers at dinner tables with family and friends who are unable to put the tablet away without getting irritable. Or adults just like you and I who have trouble with impulse control and putting our phone down when it's time to go to bed. According to the study by Frontiers in Human Dynamics, most of our screen time is actually leisurely instead of productive. And you would think with all the hours we spend on our phones every single day, we would be putting our efforts towards something more useful. Coinciding with the fact that it can already negatively impact our mental health, it can also stunt social and emotional growth. A separate study conducted by the National Library of Medicine shows that addictive screen time can include a decrease in coping skills and the development of craving behaviors resembling substance dependence. I decided to display these two charts side by side just to give you an idea of how much is actually being consumed. As you can see, the green represents 2019, the blue represents 2021. There isn't some insane jump in the numbers. They're pretty comparable. Obviously, 2021 has more consumption. But I mean, you can just see in this example alone, there really hasn't been that much of a difference. There still is just as much overconsumption. Jumping to the theoretical perspective of the entire music video, I think it aligns best with the symbolic interaction theory. The whole video is meant to be digested from your perspective. When you watch it, you're meant to feel disconnected from reality. It has a purpose. The alienation the viewer experiences, just like JK in the video, is meant to replicate how a virtual reality would feel. This music video also tackles the social construction of reality and what we think of it to be. Oftentimes we're so caught up in it that it does indeed feel real. It really makes you think about interactions that you've had with other individuals outside of social media and how differently their online personality is versus how they really are in the human experience. Lastly, another really important and hard to understand aspect of the entire music video is that there is symbolism in things losing their meaning. We're so used to everything having a meaning that when something loses its meaning, it's a little bit confusing. In a virtual reality where everything is constructed by humans, there's conformity. Nobody thinks differently for themselves. Everyone is limited to what they're digesting or consuming through the screen. It changes our reality into something that other people construct it to be rather than what we construct it to be. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions or comments, you can go ahead and reach out to me at any time. Thank you.